See, that's mum speak for no. What we're going to do is we're going to have a little discussion about the platform TikTok. Now, what normally happens when I bring up the word TikTok is, especially with people of a certain age, don't feel bad, you know, is that most people, they've heard of it, but they have no real understanding of how it works. That's just some place where the kids do crazy stuff. Yeah? Okay, now, the thing is, at the moment, it is a massive, massive place of opportunity, and I'm going to try and explain why I think that is. Okay. So, some questions before we get going. So, who likes free exposure? Well, we all do, don't we? Of course we do. That's right. Yeah. Now, that's something that we're all trying to get. I mean, exposure is what we're after. Yeah. I mean, how can we possibly get the right clients to come to us if they don't even know we exist? Okay, so it doesn't matter what you do, because people say to me quite often, they're like, oh, well, TikTok, my mind won't work on that platform, my business won't work on that platform. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, but the thing is, there's a good possibility that it might. And even if it doesn't today, think ahead to a year from now, or 2 years from now, or 3 years from now. Think about that audience that you're going to grow up with, that are going to grow up with you. And those people now that may be, you know, in school, leaving school, doing exams, things like that, a few years from now, they're going to be house buyers, they're going to be homeowners, they're going to be business leaders, they're going to be people that need services and products. Who am I? What right have I got to talk about TikTok? I'm clearly not 14, I don't twerk, okay, and my lip syncing skills aren't. I said I'm going to have a little investigation into this, I'm going to put some work in, I'm going to really sort of analyse it and have a look. And so that's what I did. I spent a couple of weeks really, really going into it, and I sort of devoured every bit of content I could find. And essentially you've got two camps when it comes to authorities on TikTok. You've got the 14-year-old kids that are smashing it, and believe me, they're out there. They are genuinely out there, and they're awesome. I wish I had their blooming drive at 14, honest to goodness, I really do, you know. And they're really doing some amazing things, and the talent is incredible when you actually look at these, what they're doing, it's amazing. But then you've also got the traditional sort of marketers and things like that. In a world where, as you rightly said earlier on, nobody really cares about your history. What we care about is what you can do for me. You know, and if you can fix my problem, I don't care if you've just literally fallen out of a tree. My ad spend on that is zero. I don't spend a penny on it. So that's a pretty good reach. Okay? I now help other people on the platform. I help other people build their particular following. I help them grow. I help them set up, and that's pretty critical as well, because if you take the wrong steps at the start, you're going to set yourself up for failure. What I did was, as I said, I deep dived into it. I had a look at the algorithms. Now, nobody's actually said out loud what the algorithms are. TikTok haven't told anybody, in the same way that Google don't tell anybody, because they don't want people playing the system. However, lots of people have looked at it, myself included. Now, you can get into the back end if you know how. You can get into the algorithms, and you can get into your stats and analytics, right? So if you know how to do that, that's a really good way, and you can really break down what you're doing, how you're doing it, what works, what doesn't. So TikTok basically is a short form video content, right? And it started in China in 2016 by a company called Douyin. And it was brought in 2017 by ByteDance. And what they did is they brought Musical.ly, and then they basically brought that out to the rest of the world. Now, they are the same platform. They're both TikTok, but they run on different servers, because obviously China has its very restrictive censorship regulations, okay? So China is a standalone thing. Now that's where this gets really interesting a little bit later. Again, this is where people misunderstand the platform. As I said, when people say, oh, it's just this thing for kids, no. It's worth understanding what we're talking about here. There are over 500 million active users. Okay, that's almost certainly gone up by a massive amount now, because it is growing that quickly. It's growing at twice the rate that Instagram did at the same time, and it's sustaining that. Right? So if you think about where Instagram was a few years ago, where it is now, and what it's doing, TikTok is growing at twice that rate. It's the most downloaded app in the Apple Store, beating Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, all of your main players. It is the #1 downloaded app on Apple. I think it's #2 across apps in general, which gives it a heck of a credibility, and it shows you the growth. So, it's bigger than Twitter, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and Pinterest. Most of you are on LinkedIn, yeah? Most of us are on Facebook, yeah? Oh, we're happy there. Yeah, we like it there. It's comfortable, yeah? But the truth is, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, all of those sort of, I say traditional because they're not traditional, you know, I mean, they're only views, but the standard ones that we're used to now, and we figured out how to work them a little bit, then this is actually bigger than the majority of those already. And it's not even 3 years old yet.
LinkedIn would be the oldest, wouldn't it? LinkedIn's been with us quite a few years now.
LinkedIn's been at least 12, 13 years.
Yeah, but what's really interesting is LinkedIn is only now just coming to the fore.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that, again, that's a really good platform to be looking at, and that's something that a lot of people are underusing, myself included. I mean, I've lived in Facebook land for an awful lot of years, as I'm sure a lot of people have. And so it's just to put a number and a finger on it. And when you think about, you know, people think Twitter is established, people think LinkedIn is established. TikTok's bigger, substantially bigger. 90% of users access TikTok daily, and the average watch time is 54 minutes. Now, when people think 54 minutes, you're like, wow, that seems like a heck of a lot.
Yeah.
All right, but think about the traditional family unit. What do people do? They go to work, they finish work, they go home, they have tea, they sit in front of the telly for 4 hours, and they watch whatever garbage is coming at them. It's true though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so when you think 54 minutes a day, actually that seems like a small amount when you consider the traditional sort of way that a lot of people consume content.
Yep.
Youngsters don't watch television anymore, right? They don't do adverts. Most of them now, the stat is something like 80-something, a high 80% of people under 25 have ad blockers on everything. And so communicating with them, getting in touch with them, getting in front of them is now harder and harder, because the traditional ways of doing things just aren't cutting it anymore. 41% are in the 16 to 24-year-old age group. So people assume, as I said, that it's a younger platform, but it's growing older with age. The same as Facebook, that started out for college folk, and it grew. Same here. So, 41% 16 to 24. The over 25 age range is growing at a rate of 5 times. So that's a remarkable thing. And there's an awful lot of people on there now that are professional people, that are experts in their field, that are presented as such. The scope is just incredible. It's all about imagination and what you can do with it. Why is it good for you? Okay. Well, firstly, it's a land grab, and that's one of the major things. At the moment, it's anybody's game. Okay, so if you think Vegas in the early years, yeah, when people were buying bits of desert and everyone else was going, what are you doing? Who's laughing now? You know, that's something to be very much aware of. The opportunities are amazing on that, okay? Now, it's easy entry. All you need is a phone. We've all got a phone, yeah? That's it. You don't need any IT skills, editing skills, expensive software, none of that, okay? You can do it straight off the phone. It's all about content, not about production. That's one of the great things. It's not Instagram. You don't have to have a filter. You don't have to be beautiful. Okay? All about the content. Okay? So, it's great value. If you can offer great value, you'll get great value back. Like I said, if I can get 1.5 million to 1.8 million views per week for no spend, that's got to be value, isn't it, compared to Facebook? Okay? And also SEO. Now, one of the things that people aren't realizing is that this now ranks in Google search. And that's really important. You know, if you want to get yourself up and up, and you think about ways to do that, this is now one of the ways that you can do that. Every video now is going to be ranked and searchable. And that's really interesting because, again, this is like a mini YouTube. You've got to see it for what it is. It's a library of content. So if you think about YouTube videos, they're there forever, yeah? So TikTok videos, they're just much smaller. But people can access those and search back. So if, say, for example, you were doing a 10-step tutorial on how to paint something, that bike is an example, right? People could see the one and just come across it, but then they can track back and watch the other 9. Then they can follow you for more. Yeah. And if you know what you're doing, you can have a direct link to your website, to whatever you like on your homepage, and they can go directly to your product and services and buy straight through that link. What we've got to look at is the future possibilities. Now, this is where it's great for me. This is one of the reasons why I'm saying if you're going to get on now. Because if you look at the Chinese version, they're roughly about 18 months ahead of us, right? And what they've got, almost certainly we'll get. It's the same way with America, yeah? We're a few years behind America, but eventually it sort of trickles over. Right, now on their platform, you can buy straight from the video. So if I'm wearing this rather fetching jacket, 1 minute, okay, and I've got an affiliate for this, I've got a link for this, I can sell it straight from the video. You don't even have to leave the video. If I want to sell one of my courses, I can sell it straight from the video. If I want to sell my product, if I want to sell a meeting, it doesn't matter what it is. I can sell it straight from the video in 3 short clicks without leaving the video. Right now, that's available right now in China. And so what people are saying is that people like Amazon, people like eBay, they're actually really heavily looking into this, because trust me, they're not going to miss a trick, are they? Okay, now, if you think of a world where a year from now, affiliate marketing, your own personal stuff, whatever that is, if you can access a following of however many you've got, they're already following, they're already warm. You know, you've already got them. And if you can give them a direct point of sale, an entry level, straight in like that, that's got to be a good thing, right? That's almost certainly coming. Nobody knows for sure because they don't say it out loud, but basically what happens is you make a video, it goes out to the TikTok world, right? And what they do is they put it in front of roughly 100 to 300 odd people. And now depending on what comes back off that will depend on whether it goes out again. And it just goes up in concentric circles, getting bigger each time. Until hopefully, if you're really lucky, it goes viral. It hits enough where it goes viral and then it takes off and then boom, and it really starts gathering momentum. But you've got to go through those first circles first. And if you don't know how to get through those first couple of circles, if you don't know how to present yourself in that way, you're going to be forever stuck in that. And here's something else to bear in mind as well. What everyone's saying is that if you set up an account and you don't set it up correctly and do the right things in the right order, TikTok will pigeonhole you into whether it thinks you're worth sharing or not. Because bear in mind, like everything else, it wants you to watch it, it wants you to keep viewing, right? So it will push the ones that it thinks people are interested in. I do waffle. So, guys, hope you enjoyed.
Yeah.